What's up, YouTube? Your girl is back. Darielle, the Ace is like back like a booty crack. Okay, I'm really back, and today I'm gonna talk to y'all about what type of brushes to use with what. Like, that was one thing I didn't know what to, like, I was so confused about what brushes to use with what when I was first starting out how to learn how to do makeup. And so many people use different brushes, and I just didn't know what was what. Like, they called a certain brush something, a contour brush, a foundation brush, an eyeshadow brush, a crease brush, a pencil brush. Like, what is all this for? Like, what? So I just, went through trial and error with everything. Like, I just tried any brushes, and whatever works, work. So I got a set of brushes, well, not a set of brushes, but some brushes that I'm gonna show y'all and tell you what I use them for. So if you want to see what type of brushes to use, when and where to use them, keep on watching. Show you. So the first brush I'm gonna show you guys is concealer brush. Well, I don't even call it a concealer brush. It's just like a flat, it's a flat rounded brush. And this brush is actually from, I don't know, I think it's Crown, but this one is, they actually named it a concealer brush, but you can use it for different things. You don't have to just use it for concealer. I like this brush for concealer though. I like to clean up my eyebrows with this brush. It's really helpful. It's real precise. You can even get a smaller one. I use smaller ones than this, but this is the one I had cleaned, so this is what I'm going to show you guys. So you can use this like under your eye. You can use this to apply concealer. I mean, not under your eye, under your eyebrow. You can use this to apply the concealer under your eye. You can apply it down your nose, right here, right there, about wherever you put it. But that's a good brush for concealing. And what other thing can you do with it? You can, if you have big eye, a lot of eye space, if you have a lot of eye space, you can cut your crease with this brush. So you can put like a pigment down or whatever type of base you want to put down to cut a crease. If you got big eye, not big eyes, a lot of eye space, then you can use this. And another one, I really like this brush. It's from Morphe. It's the M432 brush. It's really flat, and you can use this, of course, again under here, or to cut a crease, or to apply cream concealer on your face, or you can even use it as a lip brush. It's so many different uses to different brushes. You don't have to buy a whole like 9,000 brushes to be the face. You don't, like, you can use the same brushes over and over again if you don't mind cleaning like in between. If you like to do just your brows, I would do a small brush like this, because it's real precise. You don't have to draw a whole lot of concealer on, and you just blend it out. You can draw a little bit of concealer, blend it out. But what I use this brush for is to cut my crease, like cut my crease, or I use it to put a little bit of glitter. Like, you see I got the inner corner glitter, I put that right there with this brush. Real helpful, real easy. Anastasia 7B brush, real good for, of course, her dip brow. You can carve out your brow with it or whatnot. And what I use this for, this is a secret, but I'm gonna let y'all in on it. I dip this in a concealer, and I make little concealer strokes right there so it can look like hair. And then I brush it with this ink so it can look natural. It's an angle brush. It's really beat up. This is one of my first brushes. I got it from Nordstrom. It's like a no brand. And what I use this for, I use it for eyeliner. I probably need to throw this away, but I use this for eyeliner because it's real precise, or was real precise, and you can make a straight line, like draw it. That's a good brush for that. This brush is called a BH Cosmetic brush. It doesn't have a name or a number. It was just in one of the kits I bought. It was like $8 in the whole kit. But this brush I actually would use for cutting the crease. That's the only thing I would use this brush for, or a lip brush. Like cutting the crease, a lip brush, or in the corner, because I use small brushes for in the corner because my inner corner is really small. A pencil brush is what they call this brush. A pencil brush, because it looks like a pencil. This is from Crown brushes. It looks like a pencil, and I actually use it under my eyes right here. Like if I want to do an eyeshadow color or blend it out under my eyes, and I use a brush like this, a small brush like this. These are considered, I consider these eyeshadow brushes, but there's a difference. Synthetic and natural hair brushes. Synthetic hair brushes I do not like to use with eyeshadow. synthetic hair brushes I like to use with creams because they blend creams out a lot better, and they put powders on real harsh. If you put a synthetic brush on with powder, it put it on real harsh. And like with these brushes, they're so small, it like center it in one section. I don't like that, so I would not use this specific brush. This specific brush is from Shop Miss A. It came in like a 10-piece brush set. It was like $10, I think, or $5. I don't remember. Now it came with a lot of brushes, and they actually good brushes. But this brush specifically is synthetic, and I use it to blend the cream contour on my nose like that. Or I will use it to spot conceal. I'll use it for that if I don't use my beauty blender. Now these brushes, they are all different shapes, all different sizes. I use all these brushes on my eyelid. Now these, I just use these as blending brushes. These are just blending brushes. Some are bigger than the other ones, some are small, but these, I use these exclusively on my eyes. It's the only place I use my eyeshadow brushes, only place. These are natural hair, and those that I just showed you are natural hair too. But these are natural hair brushes, and I like to use these on my actual lid. Like if I'm putting a pigment down, I will use this. If I'm putting glitter down, I will use something a little smaller, a little skinnier, something like this. And if I'm like using like a paint pot or something, I will use a brush like this. If I'm not trying to cut the crease, just trying to like get a real good color down, I will use this brush to put the paint pot down, then put the color on top with the other side of the brush. Multi-use in one brush, boo. Okay, so this brush, I paid a lot for this brush, I think. But I don't like this brush. You know why? Because when I put my highlighter on, it go on in this shape. I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know how to do that. I put my brushes like this, and it just go on in this shape, like this shape. I don't want that. I want a clean, nice, blended highlight, and this don't do that for me, so I don't use this brush. I just don't use it. Other people use it, I just don't. I just can't. What I use for highlight is a big fat eyeshadow brush. I think they call this a fluffy eyeshadow brush. I would never use this on my eyeshadow. My eyes too small for it. This is a Morphe M510 brush, and I use this for highlight. It's a perfect brush for highlighting. I love this brush. Also, Shop Miss A has a good brush. It's called a F19 from Shop Miss A, and it's super good for highlight. Like, it's super good to put on your highlight with. I love it. It's only $1. I gotta buy like 5 more. I only bought one. Next brush. Oh, this is another eyeshadow brush. If I'm trying to put on like a powder color, I use this brush and like press it onto my lid. Or if I'm doing a smoky eye, I press all that black onto my lid. Or you can also use this to blend the contour of your nose. This is a natural hair brush, but you can blend the contour of your nose with this, like the cream contour. And I lied earlier. With the eyeshadow brushes, I also use an eyeshadow brush for putting on powder contour on my nose. So I use an eyeshadow brush to put on my powder contour on my nose, something like this. Something really precise. This is a MAC 217. I use something like that to put the powder contour on my nose. This is one of my favorite brushes. I don't think I could live without this brush because I use it so much now. I got like 10 of these, and I use it on every client because it's so precise with blending out the concealer. You don't get into your eyebrow. You don't like go into your... It's just so perfect. Like, it's a perfect brush. This is a Real Techniques brush by Sam and Nick. So good, girl. So good. And you can use it under your eye if you like messed up. You say if you get mascara like under your eye and you wasn't really trying to go for that. Take some concealer, put it right there, and blend it out with this. Like it never happened. Boom. This is a Morphe M512 brush. I don't really have much use for this besides when I'm doing a natural look like this. I'll pick up like some powder, like some skin tone powder, and put it on my whole entire lid so it won't crease. Other than that, I really don't have any use for this brush. It's so dense and so like, I don't know. I really don't have any use for this brush at all. Other people might, I just don't. This brush is from Crown Brush. It came in a kit. I really like this brush because I can put my primer on with this, well, my client's primer, because I put my primer on my fingers. I go into the primer on one side, smear it all over that face, you know, get it in real good. Then the other side, I can use it to put that foundation on that face, you know. It's really a multi-use brush. I just use it for sanitation reasons, or like, people might be weird about you putting their fingers on your face, putting your fingers on their face, so that's what I use it for too. I don't really want to be like all on your face. I would just rather use a brush. So this is what I use it for on clients. Foundation brush. That is exactly what this is called. This is from Real Techniques, and this is a foundation brush. It came in a kit of, no, it's actually called a buffing brush. It came in a kit of 4. It came in a kit with 3 other brushes. This brush is actually super good for blending foundation. It's a synthetic brush. I love it. It gets your foundation so smooth. I don't think anything gets your foundation as smooth as a beauty blender though, because you know beauty blenders are beauty blenders. Well, Wonder Blender, because I use the Wonder Blender from Shopping Today. It's only $1.55. So I'd rather buy those and replace those every month than buy a $20 beauty blender and replace that every month. So foundation brush. This is all I use this for. I use it for cream foundation, liquid foundation, even powder foundation. This foundation brush works with any foundation you can think of, like honestly. Unless you got some real sheer foundation, might not work with that. I use full coverage foundations all the time. I never use a sheer foundation, so I really don't know if it works. So this brush is also a multi-use. It is called a contour brush. I do use it to blend out my contour, like on my cheeks, my cream contour. I would not use this for any powder contour. It's way too harsh. It's really dense. It's synthetic. I do not use synthetic brushes for creams. Almost. That's almost 100% true, because this brush I specifically use for contour, to blend out my contour on my cheek. And I used to actually use it when I didn't use a beauty blender at all. I used it to blend out the concealer under my eyes. So I would use one side to blend out my concealer and the other side to blend out my contour. And it worked real good for me. Like, this is a real good multi-use brush. And like, you can even use this for foundation if you really don't have a big face like mine. You can use this for foundation. Even if you do have a big face like mine, you just got a lot of blending to do, sis. One of them is from MAC and one of them is from BH Cosmetics. This one is from MAC and this one is from BH Cosmetics. The one from MAC is a lot less dense than this one, but they're both, I think they're duo fibers, really. Yeah, they're duo fibers, so it's a mixture of synthetic and natural hair. So these brushes, I really only use these brushes to blend out like powders. Like, I would take a powder and set my face with it with this brush. I really wouldn't use this brush for a cream. No, I really wouldn't. I could use it for a cream. I wouldn't use this brush for a liquid because I feel like it would drag it and make streak marks. But a cream is different because it's thicker and it'll move around with this brush. I think you can use this for a cream as well. It's supposed to be a highlight brush, but again, like I said, I don't like it because it puts my highlight on in that, like, I would have no highlight down here. It would only be like right here, and I don't like that. So this brush, I would actually use the contour brush. It's synthetic, but this synthetic brush is good to use with powder because it's not as dense. It's not so dense, but I use it to put contour on. It's like the perfect contour brush. Perfect. Contour that forehead, make it a little small. Perfect. I just want to contour my nose, but it's kind of hard to do that. This brush is a M551 brush from Morphe. Most of the brushes I picked up are from Morphe. This one I use to set my entire face with powder. I don't use this brush for anything else but powder. But you can use this for contour or bronzer. You know, I just use it to set my entire face with powder. I just like it the way it is. It's flat. I can press it on my face, or I can, you know, go in circular motions. But I like to press and roll, press and roll, press and roll. You get more coverage that way. Called a contour brush. It's called a contour brush. It's a Morphe E4 brush. It's synthetic. I do like this brush. I do like this synthetic brush to put on powder contour because it's not so dense. It's not so harsh, but it is synthetic. I love it for contour. I love it for contour. But you do not just have to use specifically an angle brush for contour. People always confuse that. You can use this brush for contour. You can use this brush for contour. Bronzer, contour, same thing. You can use these type of brushes. These are 3 different type of brushes, 3 different shapes. You can use them all for a contour or a bronzer. It does not matter. What floats your boat, floats your boat. So, I use this for contour. You can even use it for a blush brush. Simple. This brush I use to set my face with. You can also use it as a blush brush or contour, like I said. This is a Morphe M579, and this brush I actually used to use for cream contour. It's a natural hair brush, and I usually don't use natural hair brushes with creams because it kind of like pull out the hair, you know, stick to your face. But I actually used to use this for cream contouring, but it picked up so much product, like so much product was soaked into this brush, and it was so hard to clean it that I just didn't want to continue to do that. Like, I'll do it if it's no other brushes to use, but I got like 1,000, so you know, I always got brushes to use. Yeah, those are all the brushes that I use. Well, not all the brushes, but a handful of brushes I like to use, like different shapes, different sizes, you know. I like to use a lot of different type of brushes. I'm not stuck on certain brushes besides a concealer brush. A concealer brush will always be a concealer brush for me, like under my eyebrow, like under my eyes. Like that's one type of brush that I love, and it's made for what it's made for, like, period. But yeah, those are the type of brushes I use. I really love those brushes. They help you beat the face. They help you get the job done. I hope I helped you learn a little bit more about brushes, because I was real lost about brushes when I first started, like I said, and I just wanted to make this video to help somebody who need help with like learning what brush is for what, or what you can use, or what you have and you're trying to like finesse and not trying to go buy 1,000 brushes. So I really hope this video helped y'all, and I will see y'all next time on my channel. I'm steady dropping brushes. Wow. That's Darielle. That's the Ace of Slay. Always dropping brushes. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this video. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And also subscribe to my channel, because I love the subbies. Follow me on my social media because I like y'all. I love to talk to y'all about makeup. Like, makeup is life. My life, at least. I love makeup. Shit, it's life. It's lit. Like, I love it. What else can I say? Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Love y'all. See y'all next time.